Over 6,000 riders and 4,000 volunteers participated in the PanMass Challenge on August 7th and 8th. The PMC is a bike-a-thon that raises money for adult and pediatric cancer care and research at Dana Farber Cancer Institute. Every rider-raised dollar goes directly to Dana Farber and is its largest single contributor. After the PMC's reimagined event last year because of the pandemic, riders were thrilled to have the opportunity to come together again to support a great cause.
Having gone through cancer treatment, that what could be a stronger statement of normalcy than to ride your bike in the heat or the rain and just blend into the pack of 6,000 people trying to do the right thing.
In 2012, I was diagnosed with lymphoma and went into treatment. PanMass for 2012 had happened, and I had ridden out in the midst of chemotherapy about as far as I could get to, 2 miles to see everyone and wave, and came back. But in the midst of it, that was in the summer of 2012, a very good friend of mine who was also a cyclist got together with one of my daughters, and they sent a message to family and friends. And through that outreach effort, they raised funds and presented me with a new bicycle. A month later, when this new bicycle arrived, I was a little bit more depleted. It was sort of incongruous to sort of get this bike, and I couldn't even think about getting on a bike at that point. But this friend of mine, Rick Treitman, said to me this famous words for me, which was, "Next year we do PanMass together." Still gets me choked up. Because, there's going to be a next year. I will be riding again. I did my first ride in April or May, and sure enough, by 2013, I did the PanMass Challenge, and it was really meaningful to me.
There's so many wonderful things about a bicycle. It's teamwork, it's social, it's travel, it's speed, it's efficiencies, and a wonderful metaphor for what we're trying to do, which is turn the crank of progress by funding cancer research at a world-class institute that benefits the world. As someone who's ridden for all 42 years, this year was different, of course, following last year's Reimagine, when nobody could host or come together in any capacity. And nonetheless, the PMC raised $50 million. This year, we were allowed to meet, greet, but we spread them all over our 16 routes. So the traditionally popular routes were like 70% less, and other routes were getting populations.
These last 2 years, I've just done my own ride. When the ride can happen as a group, it's remarkable. It's an incredibly high-spirited event. The whole time you're aware why you're doing this. And it's remarkable in that there's so many people watch as you ride along, and they're out to cheer, and they're not saying, "Yay, you," they're all saying, "Thank you."
People got, again, to feel to be a part of the PMC community, see old friends, the whole synergy of biker volunteer interfacing, which is so meaningful. People cheering on the streets, it felt like the PMC. When you're participating and sweating and laughing and crying on PMC weekend, it's just very powerful.
I think last year especially, we lost that huge event-oriented spirit. There's such commitment, and it's so well organized that I'm sure there was a little bit of a hit in terms of fundraising, but not much.
The goal, which we set about in April, is $52 million. We had raised 50 last year. We are on our way to crushing it. I think we're over 45 million as we speak. We are well ahead of the year before. The fundraising deadline is October 1st, and people can donate by going to our website, pmc.org, and hitting that red button and supporting anyone they might want to, or they can make a generic donation.
The chemotherapy treatment for my lymphoma was developed by Dana Farber Research, which had been funded by the PanMass Challenge. So it was a full circle. I felt like I owed my life to PanMass Challenge.
You can imagine how much this means to a person who's come all the way back from cancer treatment to being a PMC rider in a long distance bike-a-thon. That's its reward. and to raise money for perhaps, the institute that saved your life.